Right, for our last one in the series on testimonials for 2019, our retreat in Spain, the Carnivore and Beyond retreat, and looking forward to our next one this year in May, I thought I'd have a chat to my mate Jeremy Ayres, the great Dr. Jeremy Ayres. So I was just thinking, mate, I mean, looking back on that one and the fun we had, and you were incredibly busy, of course, with consults, more than anybody. But it was an amazing time, eh? What do you reckon?
I don't, honestly, I mean, I've listened to all the other testimonials, and I hope anyone listening will, especially if they're considering coming, because everybody will say the same thing. That you'll see them struggle to find words because, I was invited to come, and I was very honored to be invited to come and speak. And the reason why I was willing to come and speak was because really this isn't about carnivory. Carnivory is only a small aspect of it, and the more you research, the more you realize, it's a very powerful aspect of it. But my life, and if you haven't seen my wonderful interview with Phil, which is still getting wonderful feedback, so my story of 30 years of helping people to heal from just about everything you can possibly imagine. The aspect why came is because most people that come, as Rebecca pointed out, were sick or had been sick and healed themselves. So when I came, I was not sure quite what I was going, like everyone, not quite sure. It's one thing having social Facebook, interactions, and Phil's group is just the best group on Facebook, which means we'll probably be banned soon. Because it's, there's only one rule, and it does get broken, and that is, don't insult somebody, scroll on. So there's fantastic content and there's fantastic humor. And so that's one thing. But to meet these people, which is who mostly booked, there was some people not in the group, it's always a bit of a, what's it going to be like? Well, it was absolutely awesome. And I'm English. I don't use the word awesome. It was awesome. I mean, yes, the setting, this converted monastery in Spain, about 40 minutes from Gibraltar and similarly from Malaga, was idyllic. So, what could go wrong? Well, people could go wrong, but it didn't. The people that came, which I ended up consulting with, God knows, nearly all of them, but it took me a week to recover actually from it. It was so intense. But the people that came in unbelievably quick time gelled as a group, and the conversations and the lectures were great, Phil, and the consultations were individual, of course, but it was what makes this conference, retreat, whatever you want to call it, so special is outside of the lectures, where people from 7 o'clock in the morning till midnight, I was talking with people about absolutely everything. There was no limit to subject areas. I was so impressed, actually, by how many people had researched into the areas that I've been forced to research to get to the body of knowledge that I have now. And it's very encouraging, actually. And then their stories of healing, and some of them, of course, have got so far or just beginning, are extraordinary, and they're extraordinary only because why doesn't everybody else know about this? Because the major tool for most of them had been changing their diet into a carnivorous one, and the physical and mental, spiritual even healing. And I know how much that upsets some people, and it's just really sad because it is upsetting if you come across this body of knowledge, unless you're sick. And this is really what we're about. We're about helping people that medicine has either not been able to help or has very often made them worse, heal. And that conference, we came as maybe Facebook friends. Cliched as it is, we left as a very, very close group of people that the word family was banded around probably universally. Would you agree?
Absolutely, I would. Yeah, it was the people who I've interacted with since, I've consulted with since as well. We've often consulted with the same people and thrown our own bits of knowledge in there. But Well, as you say, I know it's a word that neither of us like, but that sort of spiritual aspect. It's just a whole bunch of incredibly open-minded people. Because how often do people come to carnivory? They generally come when they've exhausted every other avenue, right? And so they've been wrong enough times not to be stuck in an opinionated viewpoint. And
exactly.
that's what's so lovely, because we could talk about any kind of subject. And I mean, this year we've got some great people, haven't we? I mean, we've got Shawn, who's fantastic, Shawn Baker. We've got Bobby Risto, who's hilarious, and he's got some wonderful experiences and stories to share. And with the three of us again, we got you speaking, we got me, we got Graeme Norbury, who is just the great demystifier.
Yeah, he's awesome,
isn't he? And what a friend he's become. And we've also got Éva. We've got Éva LaRoche, who's talking on the whole raw side of things.
She's one of my favourite people in all the world now, Éva.
She's lovely, isn't she?
She's so fantastic. Genuine and wonderful, and her knowledge and experience are exceptional, and she's just an inexhaustible heart of love is Éva.
She is. And we've got Lisa Bailey, who is great. She's got an amazing healing story of her own, and so knowledgeable, and going to be speaking on mitochondrial health and carnivory. And then of course we've got Holley Reeves, who is I just, you know, it worth it to come and listen to Holley at the conference. I'm not even going to let out the amount of subjects that she's going to be talking about, and they'll really surprise everybody, I think. But
this is what is one of the unique things, because I've spoken to people that have been to other conferences, and I'm in no way being negative about other conferences, but it's basically how much can you talk about eat meat, drink water, and maybe salt. You know, this conference is all encompassing. The subjects we talk about, all of us, are fascinating, and I think we did a very good. Of course, I'd say this, but we did a masterful job of twining all together, so that what people left with, apart from the immensely interesting and honest conversations that were going on outside the lectures, all up to midnight and in the morning, it was wonderful, is people left with a great expanse in their knowledge and experience and hope if they hadn't yet healed. And that's not it. And it's not false hope. It's not, marketed. They left. Not only have they continued to work with us or work with the knowledge and have improved, to my knowledge, without exception, but 60% of them rebooked. And the ones that didn't rebook pretty much couldn't make it because they had the ones I've spoken to had other commitments. And some of those came from Australia. To come and wanted to come this year, but they're somewhere else. So I think that says so much. And I don't know when people might be watching this, but there is only 9 rooms left. There's day tickets, but Airbnb is few and far between in that area. And if you're and ahhing, the cost over value, the value far exceeds the money. And not that I want anyone to go into debt, but, go rob someone, convince your granny that it's best to give you inheritance now. Just get your asses over there. You're going to have a great, see that smile? That's what you're going to have, with a lot of knowledge, immensely beautiful food, some very bad humor, and probably quite a lot of hugs.
Absolutely. And if anybody thinks this is some weird new agey thing that's going on, it's really simple, actually. It's just all the aspects of our ancestral disconnects that people are talking about, and we just wanted to put it all under one roof. It's pretty simple on all levels. You've got all the light and the EMFs and the deuterium and even beyond that, all the whole emotional thing and the spiritual side, again, that silly word, but just how we used to interact as a community in our ancestral times. And that's the kind of feeling I got there. It was a kind of ancestral gathering, really. For
sure. Yeah. And this year we've got RoboDoc heading the cast.
Yeah, we have. I'm gonna look forward to hanging out with him. So, and everybody listening to this, there will be links underneath. Jeremy mentioned a great conversation that we had on my Carnivore and Beyond podcast. I'll link that underneath too. So there, I'll put links underneath with all the details of where you need to get to, the dates of it, which is actually 11th to 15th of May, down in the south of Spain. Absolutely beautiful. Check the links out and book, and we'll see you there.
Can't wait.
Cool, neither can I. Thanks so much, Jeremy.
Always a pleasure, my friend.